Yo, let's watch some battles over here. Usually I don't react to a battle this soon after it comes out, but this battle got a shit ton of views, and that's good for them. I'm proud of them. Good job, guys. Good job. Just gonna awkwardly do this for a while. I was here for this battle. From what I remember, it was pretty good. Shit. There we go. Oh no.
Report to headquarters. This is value 6. You know what I'm saying? Battle to my right. Retro. That's it.
Already. Oof. Already we need to get like a microphone like for right here, cause sometimes motherfuckers forget to speak up, and we need to be louder in the yard. Like especially in the yard, motherfuckers. We need to remember to be loud as shit. You know, it's outside, and the audio doesn't like reverb or get caught inside at all. So yeah, you definitely got to be louder in the yard.
All right, let's give it up for Retro. Let's go. Battle to my left.
10 West Side, hold your stick.
Woo! Okay. Alright, so we came the furthest, so you don't holler in the air. Yeah. It's on Retro. One rounder, let's get it. I came here with the mindset that I ain't losing to nobody. And you, my nigga, are nobody. Integrity.
I like that line. I actually kind of like the voice crack, like the hey, you, like he got pretty high up there. I can't even get my voice that high, but yeah, like I thought that added a bit to it. You know, I thought it was cool, and the line itself was and you're a nobody and blah blah. Like it was a nice opening line. I like that.
I'm starting to think that you ain't even got none. Big gun. Whatever mores you did have, you leave them without them. I'm about.
The setup there was way better than the punch actually. Well, it was like integrity. I don't think you have none or something like that. And then like the rest was like big gun. Like I would have flipped those. I would have had the punchline at the end there, or like what was the setup be the punchline and the punchline be the setup. Not bad writing though.
About my cheese, cannon on me, interchangeable lens. I'll shoot this nigga if he pose a threat. Holy shit.
That was decent. Cheese, lens, pose. Like it was definitely a bit of a like camera scheme there, and I don't know if like enough people know. Well, I know if like you're a Dignity cat, you know that Cheese is a photographer and shit, but it could have been spelt out a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like for someone who doesn't know Cheese or doesn't really get the photography angle on that could have been spelt out more. And even like I get it, but it wasn't the most obvious thing, you know. And pose a threat. Like, yeah, it was good. It just could have been cleaned up a bit to be more obvious of what he was going for there.
Shit, he was my dog, but I had to put him down because I'm a vet. Nigga, I'm the vet.
I fuck with that. Low key, I don't normally comment on like how people dress for battles, because I mean I don't really care. I mean you see how I show up to battles. I don't give a fuck. But low key, like the whole color scheme of like red and black, like with his hair and like even his pants are like all matching. Like it looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, the line itself, put down your dog. I'm a vet. Not bad. Not like a crazy line, but not bad.
Best. You my son. This is only my second match. So you know it's about to be lit. Counterfeit. I put a buck to the sun, and you can see faking shit. Nigga, I'm the shit. And
That was pretty good. I noticed we're throwing some sound effects on these battles now. I think it's actually kind of cool. We're not overdoing it so far. And that's one thing, like, I just hope we don't get to the point where every line is overshadowed with a sound effect. Like, I'm trying to think of what leagues did that. I know, like, John the Don, his league, what is that, Bullpen? They get a little obnoxious with the sound effects. And a couple other leagues are pretty bad at, like, making a sound effect on every single bar. And that's a little annoying when they do it. But, yeah, I mean, we're about a minute and a half, 2 minutes into his round, and that's the first sound effect I think they did, so it's not bad, and it was appropriate, so I fuck with it. Other than that, though, the line was good. I kind of forget what it was by now, but I remember it was good, and it sounded aesthetically pleasing.
came here to embarrass you. Your flow, your style is unbearable.
That was
This nigga
nice.
talk so much shit on the internet that I knew that as soon as we linked up, we would have a burial. My niggas Paul Bears.
There's not like a crazy punch there, but it sounded really cool. I'm not gonna lie, like unless there's a punch I'm missing there, it was kind of just rap into rap, but it sounded really cool the way it was like phrased out and said. If there was a punch there, that would have been way cooler, but I'm not gonna, take points off for not punching there when it sounded nice. And that's the thing, if it sounds nice, you can get away with not having like a crazy punch or not like actually saying much in it. If it just is aesthetically pleasing to hear, like you can't do that for a whole round. People will be like, all right, you're not saying shit. But, every couple bars, every once in a while, just having like a nice sounding line isn't worth taking points off on that. But yeah, it sounded cool.
And they bear arms. Nigga, don't get carried away. The metal of spring. And I carry my pole like it's Veterans Day. Talking about he
That was decent. I fuck with all that. That was it came off the last bar pretty smoothly. Like there was like not an obvious transition between the bars, so it almost like comes across as one big bar when there was like a couple of different bars like strewn together, and I like that a lot. That's how I think writing sounds its best, when it sounds like one coherent thing. Like you're just talking and it's like coming out and it sounds and feels natural because it all flows together, you know what I mean? And then there was like a pretty nice punch at the end there. The Paul Bears, bare arms, like a bit of wordplay. Yeah, pretty nice.
don't beat me. And what? You can't rap with me. That's facts, you see. You got a better chance fighting the faculty. Alien. I'm your leader. Run up on me, you'll get popped.
Better chance fighting the faculty. I might have to take a point off on that one. It was said a little awkwardly. Faculty. I don't know. That's one of those things where it was said in a way that people don't really talk, and it almost goes against what I just said too, of like feeling natural. Like it doesn't feel like a way that you just talk to people. And there's certain times where, there's an exception to that. Like Briz is really good at sounding unnatural, but in a good way. I'm trying to think of like Twerk a couple times. He can sound unnatural, but in a way that sounds cool. And so it's not like a law that it has to sound like a conversation 100% of the time. You can have like some out there bars, but there's a certain there's like a gray area of uncanny where like you either have to like really commit to being talking in an unnatural way or you don't, and anything in the middle sounds really off-putting to the ear. So, and it's difficult because that's something that you don't consciously do most of the time too. Like especially when writing, like writing to out loud, you're not consciously aware of that at all times. But like once you start paying attention to like, am I saying this word in a weird way? Does it take away like attention from the bar itself and shit like that? Like little things that like you would think are really benign and minute and not worth like really fixing or adjusting do actually play a big part in people's ability to pay attention to what you are saying while rapping, especially while rapping more than like a conversation, because it's constantly moving. There's a lot more complexities to rapping usually and hopefully. So like you want to not divert their attention as much as possible from what you're saying unless the way you're saying it is like part of the bar itself, you know what I mean? Where like, yeah, I think I've explained that pretty well enough by now. But yeah, so just be conscious of like, oh, am I saying a word in a really weird way there? And would that detract attention from what I'm trying to say or the point of what I'm saying? So, and then plus, like, I don't think there was like a huge punch there or anything really worth giving the point back on that, you know? So it's just like, you kind of said something in a weird way that took my attention off what you were saying, and then it wasn't like anything to really bring me back into what you were saying. So, you know, just be conscious of that in the future. Other than that though, I think he's a pretty good like rapper. Like aesthetically, his flow and his like how he sounds just sounds pretty decent. Like it doesn't sound rushed, it doesn't sound uncomfortable or like awkward in any way, except for like that one fucking word. And that's probably why it stood out so much too, is that like the rest of his style is pretty like, you know, easy to listen to, comfortable, whatever, like aesthetically pleasing. And so like anything like that where you do something that is almost like the opposite energy of what you had before, it's like, ooh, that stands out even more though. So yeah, I think like he's a pretty good rapper though. All in all, like there's a couple times I would prefer he threw more punches in or explained it a little more, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think we might only be like halfway through the round though. So
round 3, nigga, I got the mop. And he'll get canned for
decent.
good. I wish he would. I'll cut him open, dump his guts, and leave his ass in the backwoods. Stupid nigga, keep a blicker. Ironically,
backwoods guts. It was decent. I feel like I've heard pretty similar versions of that bar, but you know, he hit it well and it wasn't bad and it sounded nice, so
I pulled out and still popped the nigga. Father figure, fucking old head, 30 and 40. That's how you integrate. Aim straight. To send a nigga without integrity to heaven's gates. You hella fake. Go 5 on me. That's all I got so I can smoke this slut.
Sudden with no integrity to heaven's gate. Yeah, like that's another example of like it sounded good. There just wasn't like a solid punch there. And if he rapped like that and then had like good punches at the end of it, it would be fucking really fire. And it's weird, like, it seems like he can punch and then he can rap, but then, like, for some reason when he raps, when he punches, and if you just combine those two, it's like, you got it. It just seems like for some reason you're separating them. Like, when you rap, you don't focus on the punches, but, you know, punches are a pretty big part of battle rap, and, like, I get the rapping to rap part. It just seems like, why separate the two when you can do both, you know? And I just feel like it'd be more, I don't know what the word is, like, not successful. Like, every line would be more impactful if it had a punch to it, and seeing as though you have the ability to punch, just throw some punches on the end of your fucking ribbity raps, yo. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. But yeah, other than that, like, it all sounds good, so that's, like, baseline, just, you know, good to fucking have as a battle rapper. And then you have, like, the tools, it just, you know, use them in conjunction with each other, instead of, like, switching off between them. And I think, like, that would be pretty fucking fire. Other than that, though, pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Boosie. You catch a fade like Lil Boosie. What?
That was decent.
What? 4-5 on me. That's all I got so I can smoke this squad. Lucy. You catch a fade like Lil Boosie. Little nigga. Integrity. You less than me. I came to get under your skin like leprosy. The tech with me. And they can't take me out the game even if they ejected me. COVID symptoms. You ain't got no...
Those were some decent punches, back to back. No, like, crazy haymaker, but they were short and sweet and back to back to each other and all rhymed really well. So yeah, like, I fuck with that part a lot. If you, like, do that part and then ended with one crazy haymaker, and maybe I cut him off before he did, but, like, yeah, that's a really good tactic, is just, like, small punches leading into one big punch. So, like, a good, they're almost like, I guess, jabs at that point. And, like, they don't have to be complex. They don't have to be, like, crazy fucking punches. Just little, like, you know, do you get it? Okay. Do you get it? Okay. Do you get it? Okay. And then a fucking haymaker, you know? Like, that's a really good tactic to use, and it's really good for keeping people's attention when you're not using haymakers or, like, having, like, a crazy good punch, and then it also builds up that punch when you do get to it. So yeah, that's another really cool little tool to have that, if you use in conjunction with the other tools that you have, you know, makes for an entertaining round. So
I can tell. You ain't even got a sense of fashion. And I'm sick of this bum. But I'm asymptomatic. What? I'm sick of this bum. But I'm asymptomatic.
That's pretty decent, actually. I feel like if you're asymptomatic, you wouldn't be sick. I feel like that's what that means, though. Just saying. Asymptomatic means you don't have any symptoms, and I guess you would still be technically sick, but you wouldn't be suffering from it. I over analyzing that bar a little bit. That might be on me, but it's not a bad line. I think most people just didn't react because it's, like, too soon, man. It's sad. No, I don't know. I thought that actually deserved a little more reaction, but wasn't bad.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
who the fuck you talking to? You got a clip, long as a branch, I came to bark at you. You gonna take so many shots, it's indescribable. Then throw his ass in the trunk, who wanna ride with you? Pussy.
Like that was nice. I like that. Like he hits like little parts where it's like just like gassy. You know what I mean? Like gassy sounds bad. Like he's gassing, and it and like Who Wants to Ride with You? That's like a nice punchline to that too. So that was nice. That was it seemed like you definitely switched from one energy to the other between the bars though. Which can be a little off-putting to the ear. You know, like if someone's not completely battle or rap literate, or like, you know, like there is a certain amount of like training the ear for battle rap that does come along, but you know, to like a casual ear, like that would be a bit jarring, I feel, to go from like a slower pace like that like straight to the speed that you went into. And like there's times where you could do that and it would work, but the way it was done there seemed a bit like, yeah, just jarring. It was like, oh, okay, I guess we're going that fast now. And it kind of came out of nowhere, so it wasn't like you know, expected or part of the bar or anything like that. It was just like, oh, okay. So yeah, just little things like that. Again, like on paper, you wouldn't be able to tell, like, you know, like writing it down, reading it off the paper. It's not something you can practice. It's something you have to do out loud. And when you're practicing out loud, be like, ooh, did I say that weird? Do I have to like pause a bit more? Do I have to like say the previous bar a bit faster? Do I need to slow this bar down? And just little things. Try to listen from like an outsider perspective, you know, like try to listen to yourself as if you're listening to your round for the first time and it's from a stranger, and then be like, oh, if I feel like I heard someone say that or say it this way, would I be like, yeah, that's a little weird? And then just, you know, tweak it till it works. But other than that, yeah, it was definitely a really good line though, and I just wish it was a little more fluid and placed properly in the round. But other than that,
Stand in front of this judge and I'm appeal. What's the deal? You a starving artist, so I brought a meal. Long nose. If it sneeze, I'll bless a nigga that take a step. Silencer. When it whistle, you will swear that I was a rep. What?
yeah, I like when his voice cracks, actually. It's really fucking cool. Some people might find that weird or annoying. I don't know. Like, I think it's cool. There was a couple like really good lines there, like you're a starving artist, I brought a mill. What was the last one? Fucking when it whistles, you'll think I'm a ref or something. Like those are pretty good lines. He's rapping them pretty well, aesthetically pleasing, and like that's the kind of shit like I would like to see the energy of, you know, more from him. That sentence didn't work out well. My bad. That's the energy I want to see from him in the future. Because, like, that's entertaining. Like, what he's doing right there is pretty fire. And, yeah.
Caught him slipping. Running man. Tool on me. Hammer dance. Stocks up. Dividends. Stretch a nigga. Ambulance.
Like, I fuck with that. I fuck with, like, there's that was groovy, dude. I fuck with that. That is definitely some nice rapping right there.
Okay. Caught him slipping. Running man. Tool on me. Hammer dance. Stocks up. Dividends. What are you talking about? Let me bring that back.
Ooh, if you didn't stop there. Here's the thing. I like all that. That was really fucking fire. I want to say you should do something, but I don't know if I would even do it. This is something I'll admit I'm bad at, is like movement and like actual body movement and shit. Cause like I know certain people, like Killa, he's phenomenal with shit like that. Like if you when you said hammer dance, if you actually did the fucking hammer dance, oh my god, that would have been fire. Some of the shit that you're saying like right now, you could definitely be acting out, and it would add a lot to it because the fucking lines themselves are really simple, but in a really nice way, to where you're using the most minimum amount of words possible to convey an idea, which is awesome, and I fucking love that. Like you're using like literally fucking 3-4 words at most to build an entire bar, and all in succession, making it really, really nice. But with that like oversimplicity, you can add upon that like visually, and it wouldn't clog up what you're saying or distract from what you're saying, because it's not so much that like watching you do stuff and hearing it would be too much for the mind to process. They would be able to process everything you're saying, and then the visuals would just add on top of that. I can't do the fucking, I can't dance for shit, dude. Like, I'm fucking surprising, right? But no, I can't dance, so like I would never do the fucking hammer dance or any shit like that. Like any like movement I do usually is just like unconscious, me just fucking moving shit while I go through my round. So I understand like that's a weird thing to like give advice on, and I feel weird being like, oh, you should do that, when I'm personally uncomfortable doing that. But with lines like that, that would be really fucking helpful and like add a shit ton to it. And yeah, and then also you shouldn't have slipped up there, but I understand it happens. But yeah.
Let me bring that back. Caught him slipping. Running man. Tool on. Hammer dance. Stocks up. Dividends. Stretch a nigga. Ambulance. Small circle. Claustrophobic. Spraying shit. Germophobic. The headshot from this magazine, the front page, the nigga that wanna get noticed. Round one, man. Retro 1-0.
Okay, and then at the end he like sped it up, and like that almost, I might contradict myself a little here too, because I just said like, nah, but like, okay, it goes with the pacing and the flow that he had though, so it works. It wasn't out of nowhere. It seemed like he lost a bit of confidence in it, maybe just because he slipped up a bit. But if he hit that a little harder, that would have been just totally fire. Like that was all really well written. All of that part right there was fucking fire. And I would like to see him like commit to that. You know what I mean? Like what he was just doing there, hit that with like, you know, all your energy, throw some movement in there, you know, visually, you know, add to it when appropriate. Like when you sped up there, then I would stop the fucking, like the blatant visuals, and maybe just like turn to him and get in his face and say that like super loud, and like the movement beforehand and then the stillness of when you speed up, like would all just make that whole bit like super like real feeling. You know what I mean? Like it would just add to it a lot. Other than that though, I mean it was good. Maybe just, you know, add to what you do there. Yeah, don't slip up. That never helps. But other than that, I mean that was really good. That was really good rapping.
Close the cast.
Hey, go. Bottom of round one and tell me it's on you. Hey, this is how I take the gas away from that bullshit.
You keep calling me old. Talking about my age won't help you. But I got a 9 with 9 bullets for 9 years old that teach you respect your elders.
Okay. He's a little quiet here. Yeah, again, with the yard, you gotta like practically yell in the yard. That's another thing, I didn't give him props on. I probably should have. Retro was sufficiently loud and projected his voice, and there was very few, if any, points where I was really struggling to hear him. Integrity, like, he's already kind of quiet, but I think, like, I've actually talked to him in person. I think he kind of has that problem I have, where your voice just isn't naturally loud. And, like, I understand, like, I'm pretty sure that's, like, his natural talking voice, which would work in, like, Steve's Sports Bar or a smaller venue. That would completely be fine. If we were mic'd up, that would be fine. But in the yard, you gotta project, you know. The line itself, like, I believe it's a bit of a rebuttal. I think it's a freestyle, which if that's a freestyle, that's a really good rebuttal, actually. I wish it was louder. The respect your elder part was a really good punchline. There was a bit with, like, nines, and, like, he said 9 a lot, but it was really quiet, and I was having trouble picking up everything he was saying. But it sounded like it was clever, but I'm not gonna give points that I can't guarantee are deserved. Other than that, though, I mean, it's a good rebuttal, a good line, a good freestyle.
Now, anyway, that's one.
Loki, Integrity's energy too so far just is, like, really cool. He just has, like, a laid back kind of like, the way he started, he was just like, really, like that? And, like, even though Retro had a good round, that was still cool to do, just, like, hold your fucking hand out, like, really, this is what you got me against? That was cool. And then, like, even though the crowd didn't, like, really react to the first line, which I can't tell if they're having trouble hearing him or, like, what, but even though they didn't really react, he's just like, that's one. That's a bar. I know it. I don't need your reaction. I know when I'm doing good. Like, that's fire. I fuck with that.
You said integrity, flip script, whatever the fuck you said, that one shit. And I'm just freestyling right now, man, because we're talking shit. And all this red between your head, it don't make no damn sense. Who the fuck thought you was the opponent for me to bet against? Look.
Yeah, he's definitely freestyling right now. And he started off decent. He's kind of waving out on this one. But from what I remember, once he gets back into his writtens, it's, like, super fire.
What? It's all good though, my nigga. Spike's here. You coming in here like you fight well. I'm the type of nigga shoot you in your back and hope your homies that's with you not tear. Look, Montel Williams.
Oh, that was okay. Doesn't make the most sense, but sounded cold and sounded mean.
Your beard ain't on shit. I can't believe it. I'm in here battling a gay ass nigga on a Queen's flip. Look at his face. I can't believe this nigga is split.
Alright, yeah, I mean, okay. Let's talk about this part. Integrity said something about, like, I don't know if he called him gay or something. I kind of missed that, but then he, like, went over and kissed her, and I'm pretty sure it was, like, due to something he said. Is that, like, a good rebuttal? Is that, like, a good thing to do? Is, like, to kiss someone, in response, I guess? It's like, look, I'm with a female. It's like, okay, alright, I guess that's cool. It's a little weird to me. A little Like, all right. Maybe I'm just like weird about PDA and people touching each other in public. It's a little weird to me. But I think he actually flips that though. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you have a female there to kiss in response to something, that's not a bad move. I think part of why I feel weird about it is like, maybe it's like a feministy thing. Maybe it's just like, oh, we're making women props in our battles now. Nah, she willingly kissed him. It's fine. She's not being objectified, John. Chill the fuck out, you little social justice word. All right, my bad. Yeah. Kind of. Fourth wallish. Not a bad move.
That's a good kiss today, but she gonna be the one that bury you by the end of the day.
Yeah. I wish he was louder, cause fuck, what did he say there? Like something about her having to be there at the end of the day when like he loses or some shit. Like it was actually pretty fucking good, and it was like a direct response to like that, and like that's actually pretty fire to do while rapping. And like yeah, like he's definitely freestyling, and it's pretty fire to do that like on the spot. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't know if the crowd's completely processing what's happening right now. I remember right now being like, he's freestyling. He had a couple bad lines, but then like he responded to that and it was good. But then we all got concerned like, oh, is he going to freestyle his entire round though? Like that, please don't do that. Here's the thing, like he can clearly freestyle pretty good. He's pretty good at, thinking off the top of his head and making it rhyme and shit. I would definitely use it a lot more sparingly. It seems like, a bit too much space is being permitted for freestyling in your round. And I'm cool with it for like, 30 seconds to a minute. But past that, it gets a little, like, just hit your writtens, But for the most part, he had like one or two, like a decent rebuttal to start. And then he rebutted or responded, I don't know if like rebuttal is the right word at that point, to Retro kissing his girl. So those two things are pretty fire. It's just in between that, there was a lot of like fluff, a lot of unnecessary words and parts, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Before you spit your round, as a compulsive liar, you need to tell everybody the truth. That you're not dope and I'm fire. I'm about to hurt your neck like Percocet. You so fire. Did anybody ever tell this nigga, your damn head like a go-kart tire? Go-kart tire. No skill.
Yeah, it's like a go-kart tire. I don't really know what that means, but it's funny. I'm pretty sure he's getting into his writtens at this point. The walking around him thing is kind of cool. I kind of fuck with that. It's a good use of like the space. It's a good way to not just be standing in one spot and, being stagnant. It's a decent way to still like have some amount of visual, God damn it, John, what's the word? Visual, like, there's something to be watched, but like it's not so distracting that it'll take away from what you're saying. So yeah. And then little comedic lines like that are always going to take my heart. I love when people are funny, and that was funny. So I like that. And it was really unexpected. Like unexpected funny is usually the funniest. Just just saying someone's head looks like a go-kart tire is amusing, and I'm not 100% why, and I don't know where it came from, but it was funny, and I liked that, so.
But your shoes got fixed. Broke down pliers. First time on Dignity, fourth time on camera. Say whatever you want about my battles, but my views adding up. I disown you, then dispose you. You trash as fuck. Streets of sanitation, nigga. So I'ma gas the truck, you follow me. Hollow feet, fast enough to hit your pocket and you drop dead. Cabbage truck. Bitch want to smoke weed.
He's starting to talk a little louder now that he's in his writtens. Still a little difficult to understand certain parts, but now that he's being louder, yeah, like he's also a pretty good rapper, like aesthetically pleasing, just, you know, nice to listen to, well worded raps, you know, and there wasn't like any crazy punch in there, nothing like too like you know, attention grabbing in that part, but it sounded nice. And you know, go-kart tires still funny. Other than that though, still kind of getting like a warming up vibe. Here's the thing, in person, like, I don't think you can see me on here like at any point. I was standing like right over there, you know, like right behind him, and so I had no trouble hearing him like there, you know. I want to say in the building, but again, it's not a building. So like I'm trying to like pick out like what I liked about it so far, and there is a lot harder to hear on camera.
I'm like, cannabis, can I bust? The bitch so stupid she didn't realize I asked her, can I fuck? I bring you to my party, but I make your ass catch the bus, and that's after I beat your ass. And my wife stabbed me. That's, you really thought?
Yeah, like when he gets his energy up, like the can I bust, can I fuck, that was decent. And then like the hand punching with the bar, I punch my hand a lot in battles. I just noticed that. Like I watched through my battles the other day, and I was like, I punch my hand in like every battle. But yeah, I think it's actually kind of fire though. Like it's literally adding a punch. You know what I mean? Like it's showing there is a punch as you punch, which is pretty cool. And now that like you can hear him a little better, it's a lot more engaging, a lot more fun to listen to.
That was somebody.
Like his freestyles were decent, and I'm kind of glad that he did them, just for like the 2 lines that came out of it. It just definitely would have been better if it was shorter and he got into his writtens quicker, and then when he was freestyling, I wish he was louder too. I still wish he was a little louder. But other than that though, you know, this is a fun battle.
Nigga, you really thought I would come to the yard and not say shit? Wrong, nigga. This is night and day shit. Fine, you a different time. Speak of your day shit. You proud of your style. How? That ain't it. You just another rapper moonwalking backwards. That ain't lit.
That was fire. That was fire. Again, like, here's the thing. I can't moonwalk, so I would never do that shit. But, kind of what I was saying earlier, too, with, like, his, fucking whatever bar. I'm trying to remember what he was saying. Hammer dance. If he did the hammer dance, like see how much him doing the moonwalk added to his bar right there? Like, it arguably made the bar like 10 times better. It wasn't a bad bar to begin with, but him moonwalking just made it a lot better. If you did that with the hammer dance one, it would have had like that same effect. Another thing I want to say is Integrity. He has like a really cool energy of like, he's smooth talking, kind of like taking the relaxed, cool position, and that's like, it's really cool to do that. It's just, you need to be loud though, and I can see where it's difficult to be loud and also like, you know, casual, cavalier like kind of guy at the same time. Those are almost like conflicting energies to try to portray at the same moment. I think like Goods is pretty good at that, actually. Like, I don't know if it's just he has a naturally loud voice, but Goods always seems to be loud enough even though he's never really yelling. So like, there are certain battlers I'm sure you can watch to like kind of study how they do that. But yeah, like, my biggest problem with Integrity right now is just having trouble hearing him, and that's not completely his fault. It is his fault. It should be louder, but it's not something I'm really like blaming him too much on. Like, he's not whispering or anything. He's not so quiet that, like, you know, I would be like, you gotta be louder, you know, like, why would you be this quiet? Like, he's talking at a level that probably would work indoors. It's just the fact that we're outdoors made it not as clear to the camera. So yeah, it's hard to take points on that because it's not something I feel is totally his fault, and I don't know how many times he's been in the yard before, so I don't know if he really could even like have expected that problem. But other than that, I mean, he's rapping well, and he's being charismatic and has like a cool kind of laid back feel to him. So
I know you spazzed on DNT, but I ain't that nigga. Your bars all out of shape, weight like a fat nigga. Jeez, I want to thank you for this plate, but this is whack dinner. I feel disrespected. Fuck all you hackers that was shitting on me, that was talking reckless. Wordplay? I'm the wrong choice selection. I'll show you ain't got no bars. You all voice projection. Fuck out of here.
Ironically, that was the best voice projection he had this whole round. Maybe just because he was closer to the camera, though. But it was kind of cool. He called out reckless wordplay, and he was kind of gassing up a bit and going off, and I fuck with the energy there. There wasn't like a crazy punch or anything, I don't think, unless I'm missing it. But, you know, the energy is there. It's definitely amusing. I'm like, it sounds good. So, you know, it's cool.
Retro, my sounded clear. I don't need to scream all in your face or hound your ear. I get the aggression and all that, but sometimes it's kind of weird. It's like y'all amazed that a nigga earrings he found that fear. Will you watch this back?
Okay, so here's the thing. He had like a line about people relying on volume, relying on voice projection as a means of, you know, because there is a lot of that in battle rap. There is a lot of motherfuckers who just yell and like, oh, it sounds like they mean it, so they must mean it, which must mean it means something. And it's like, nah, if you actually listen to what they're saying, they're just yelling nonsense. And there's a lot of that. So it's actually kind of fire to be like, yo, yelling doesn't make you good. And then Integrity has like a weird way of like having ending punchlines be really comical and out of nowhere. Like the Sears earrings, I don't know where that came from. Well, kind of loosely tied in, but it was still like super funny and not expected at all. And part of me wishes that he expanded on the volume scheme or whatever. Well, not even a scheme, but like topic angle. But then like I can't even be mad because the punchline was still funny. Like if you still end it in a funny way, like it's like, all right, like it's not where I thought we were going. It's not where I wanted to go, but I can't complain about where it went in the end. It was funny. So yeah.
Keep the bars an element I'm in case.
And right now, like this volume is what he should have been doing the whole time. Like he's still a little quiet, but again, I think that might just be like his natural voice. Like I have that same problem. So, yeah, like I have like the hardest time being loud. I don't like being loud. But yeah, like the volume he's at right now is a lot more, a lot easier to hear and understand. And then he got quiet again. Damn it.
Hell, he can win. I write my shit. You write my shit. I can tell you can. Who said you was off the hook? Who made you so worried? I take the box cut of your foot and begin toe surgery. I don't like you. I holler at a bitch.
It's getting quiet again.
I don't allow myself to trick off and be all thirsty. The best is yet to come.
Yeah, I would just say volume. Work on volume. There's definitely parts where, like right now, like it's a lot better than it was in the beginning, but there's still parts that kind of like are hard to hear. Aesthetically, it sounds like he's saying something cool. It sounds nice. It's just like I can't really tell what he's saying in every bar because some bars he like kind of gets really quiet.
Say the best for last. You come in for work funky. Fuck your chick, then take a bath. The worst thing you can do to me in the battle is make me laugh, but I ain't laughing.
It's cool. It's kind of a freestyled add-in, I think. Unless he knew that she was gonna be there or something. But yeah, that was a fire little part to throw in.
Shit was ass. Listen, Brad, Retro, whatever the fuck your name is, I'm a different opponent. Nigga, don't be doing the same shit like with ENT against me with no witty name clips. I'm A-Battle, you Greyhound, you all the same track. I'm just proving it out nice. There's nothing you can do. And I think you are Jordan, Retro, because you face something to shoot. How am I corner?
Yeah, like I wish he was louder here. I remember being like right behind him, and that bar, like I vaguely remember it being like, "Ooh, that was fire," but like I can't even really hear it here, and I don't remember it well enough to be like, "Oh, here's what it was." I mean, if you know me, I was pretty fucking drunk back there, but yeah, yeah, like there's a lot of bars where I'm like, I feel like that was fire from what I remember, but like here, I can't hear it too well, so I'm having trouble being like, that was fire or blah blah blah. And it's hard to break down something you can't hear. Yeah, that's my only problem with integrity here is like the audibleness, the amount of hearing that goes into my ear holes is not sufficient.
When your style is 102, yeah, it's old and shit. It's over with. Nigga, you gonna lose. Remember you sent that video in the group chat when people was going crazy and shit? I heard he was fucking up his performance, so he jumped off the stage and shit. Stop capping. You was not rapping like they was all amazing shit. Motherfucker was drunk. You had on a do-rag. They were just trying to see a wave and shit.
I don't know how true this story is that he's telling, but it's fire, and then like the punch was fire, and yeah, the volume was perfect. no offense, Retro kind of makes him look like a bitch. And that's what, he's supposed to be doing. That's Integrity's job right here. He's supposed to make you look like a bitch. I'm not saying you're a bitch. I'm saying Integrity, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, like, it's definitely like a very good line to attack the character of the person you're battling. You know what I mean? And like, at the end of the day, that's kind of a big part of battling too, is like pointing out why you're the better battler, why you're the better man, all that shit. And like, yeah, I don't know how true it is. If it is true, I'm sure it didn't happen as, clear cut as that, but bringing it up and then the way he brought it up does like paint a picture, and it's fire to do that. It's fire to be like, oh yeah, well, let me tell you what kind of man you are, and then like just shit like that's just fire to me. So, and then it was like a nice punch. The volume was all there. That was nice. That was definitely nice.
My style will hurt your bones. For Chief Pay, DJ, F5 in the nursing home. How you get that pretty woman? Probably took her personal phone or walked and talked and stalked and stabbed her and followed her home.
And this is fire. Again, I don't know how expected her presence there really is. I don't know, like, this is the first Retro battle I've watched, to be honest. I think I might have watched one other one previously, but this is the first one, I'm pretty sure. And like, I don't know if he like brings his girl to every battle or whatever. So I feel like this might be freestyle again, but it's like super fire and he's hitting it with like a way different energy. So whatever it is, it's pretty cool that he's kind of, all right, well, maybe it's not cool that we're insulting a innocent female who's just there to support her boyfriend. But, you walk into a battle area, you're not safe. That's kind of the rules. I can't feel too bad. Like, if you walk into a battle ring, arena, area, whatever, you might get called out. That's just the fucking, you gotta have a thick skin. You gotta have a, tough mindset to be around battle rappers and shit. So, I don't feel bad, but it's fire, is what I'm saying. I'm basically just trying to get away with justifying bullying a female who has nothing to do with this. He's not really bullying her. He called her pretty. That's nice. That's a compliment.
I just put you in the bag. In my bag, I'm back in it. And I had the supplier. Now pick up the pliers to fix your raps with it.
Man, not enough, man.
Take it.
Oh, I missed that last part. What did he pull out?
In the bag, in my bag, I'm back in it. And I had the supplier. Now pick up the pliers to fix your raps with it.
Man,
Oh, some pliers.
Take it.
Oh, that part's a little awkward. I'm not a big fan of props or like using. Oh, yeah, I think at a prior part in the round he threw those pliers out. But I think like due to the volume or something we missed it. But other than that, in person, I would say Integrity won. I'm pretty sure in person I did say Integrity won, but on camera, there's just too much like quiet parts on Integrity's round. Like there's too many parts where I'm like, and I have all this shit on max volume, I promise. Like I'm like really struggling to hear what he's saying, and it's not like because of inability to keep up. It's like just audibly too quiet to like pick up every word. So I think if Integrity had the volume up on his round a little more, from what I remember, there's a lot more fire in that round than is observable on camera. That sentence made sense, right? Yeah. So like if you were able to hear everything he was saying, from what I remember, there was a lot more fire than I could really say in this video here. But yeah, just because there's a lot more audible parts, I would say Retro won. There was a bit of a slip up that unfortunately came like during his best part. Yeah, I mean overall, like I remember it being a very fun battle to watch in person. Still pretty fun to watch back on camera. I definitely think Retro might have took that one though on camera. It's just weird because I remember in person being like, yeah, Integrity got that. But yeah, on camera it definitely seems like, due to the fact that I can't hear a lot of what Integrity's saying, I feel not obligated to give it to Retro, but like Retro definitely did really well, and like he did good, and yeah, I would say Retro won on camera. Other than that, fun battle. Definitely look forward to seeing from both of them in the future. I know both of them are on some future cards on Dignity, and